Hey, everybody, this is Reagan Adams with All Things Reagan. So, listen, it was my fault today. And one thing I'm going to publicly say, just because Carissa is on here, I'm going to publicly say it. I typically do not like telling people when they're right, but just because she's my friend and I'm going to say it, she said, Reagan, 5 minutes is not enough time to click on here and do stuff. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And guess what? Today,
I
5 minutes
wasn't
is
gonna
enough.
say one thing until later on this week.
Yeah, after
Ray, remember. So yeah, it's my fault because typically I can just pop on here and do it, but that wasn't the case today. So anyway, everybody, thank you guys for joining us this evening. My name is Reagan Adams, and I have some lovely guests with me today. We are all working women of the world, and we are trying to take it over, but we're also dating at the same time. Christy's dating one person, so I don't want to get her in trouble with her honey. But she's been out there and she knows, and she's also a working woman. So we want to talk about having it all. But first of all, I want you guys to just take your time and introduce yourself. And we'll start with Christy since you are brand new to the broadcast. Welcome, Christy. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Be here. My name is Christy. Yes, I am dating one person, but interestingly so, I've been dating him for 6 years now. So I always get the question, why aren't you married yet? And what's taking y'all so long? And do you ever think that if he hadn't asked you by now, he's not going to ask you? So I have a lot of 2 cents to put in about that.
All right, Christy, what do you do for a living? You want to tell us you're a momager? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. I am an accountant by trade. I work for a fun company called Arsenal Strength, which manufactures custom workout equipment for high profile clientele. So we have customers like The Rock and Mike Tyson and all that fun stuff. So that's a fun job. But on the side, I am definitely the next Chris Jenner in the making. I am momager for Keon. And so I manage every aspect of his music career right now until he outweighs me. And then we also have a business that we started together, which is called Key LLC. And Key LLC is just an umbrella name for several things that we started. One of which was a production company. We have a publishing company. We have Key Apparel, which is coming soon, and the first sample of that was given at the first trap brunch. So that's going to be coming out later this summer. But then we also have started something called the Indie Way, which is a business in the making. Right now, we're just kind of working behind the scenes with some artists, but basically, we want to be coaches on this independent journey for musicians to let them know how their music makes money.
All right. See, I told you y'all were busy. We just got to one person. Let's head on over to Sister Carissa. Carissa owns
Oh,
all
it's
the hair
my
salons in
turn.
Knoxville. Not yet, but
That is
it's
not
happening.
true. I don't even think I would ever want that responsibility. Hi, my name is Carissa Dickey. Most of y'all know me as KD. I am a salon owner, a single mother of two young men. Inside of my salon, which is Katie's Thought Studio, we also have bundles. I just started a t-shirt line that I really need to put a little bit more effort into because my t-shirts are kind of bomb. But I mean, I just have so much going on that it's hard to juggle. I am not a serial dater. I only got time for one at a time. So it's trial and error for me. We try, I focus on you. You don't work out, we can move on to the next. If you do, we can ride this thing until it stops. So yes, I'm currently dating one person at this time,
Okay.
which I don't ever see being able to juggle multiple people at
It
all.
is hard, Risa. It's
Yeah.
hard. Well, Sister Crystal, you chimed right in on the
um,
multiple.
I don't know anything about dating multiple. I know about being friends with multiple people. um, no, yeah, me and Chris will talk more about that later. But I am a supply chain analyst. I work for an appliance distributing company. I'm also a wedding coordinator slash planner on the side, and I mean, I'm just out here trying to date. I'm very single. If anybody wants to know, I have thought about doing some other little businesses. My two little business besties up at the top inspired me, but I haven't actually done anything yet. So I'll just keep that under wraps.
Yeah. But we're all busy, and I had you guys on here for a purpose because, we are, well, Christy, you're still single because you're not married, but even though you're dating one person, because what we do is important to us, and part of that is our dreams. And dating has to be able to match that, and be able to cohabitate together. So, Christy, you and I were having a conversation this weekend, which I thought was really, really good. And it's the conversation that Crystal and I have quite often. How a lot of women think dating is dead, and me and Crystal like, where? Because there's been no problems with dating. Um, and Chris, you said something that was very profound to me about women taking dating too serious. So if you want to expound on that, I would like for the audience to hear about that, because to me it was really, really good.
Yes. Well, for one, I think it's extremely important to know how to do life on your own. While you don't have to do life on your own, I'm not saying that you should want to do life on your own, but you need to feel comfortable. I just kind of go, Beyonce is my girl. So I live by the, me, myself, and I rule. That's all I got in the end. So if I can't have a fun day on my own, then man, it's going to make it hard for somebody to intertwine with me. So with that motto, I was single and loving it. And I never understood my some of my friends who were just going through it. And I thought that every time somebody says, "Do I got a man?" I'm like, "Nope, single and loving it." So I realized that was my perspective. First of all, everybody that I
It's
dated,
all
I
about perspective.
wasn't sizing them up to be some life potential partner. I was having fun. And whatever fun means to you, I'm not suggesting that you be promiscuous in the bedroom,
Christy
or
was
nothing.
out here throwing that thing around.
She didn't say all that.
Whatever fun is to you, man. Just, I mean, it's just it's networking, it's connecting, it's meeting people. You don't have to look at dating as okay. Every person I go out with is on this interview process to see if they can make
Right.
it to the next step, or they can just
Mhm.
have a good time. And it really does seem like the less thought you put into things. I always hear the infamous saying, you study long, you study wrong. The less thought you put into it, then yeah, you're not going to take it too serious too soon.
Yeah. I think, and I had this conversation with Crystal and Carissa maybe a couple of days ago, because for those who don't know, I was married for 14 years, and um, for me, that was like we were together half my life. And Crystal really brought that to my attention when he passed away. She was like, you were together with him for half your life. And I was. So for me, dating, I don't even really, to be honest, don't know what I want. Like, I know what I want, but it's like you don't know until you get out here and try. Like, not with different people, but with different guys, because some things I'll be like, nope, that's definitely not what I want. But then some things, people, I might open the door and be like, okay, I like this, but I don't like this. So, like you said, like taking it too seriously, I don't. Like, if somebody intrigues me, I'm like, okay, I like them. But also, on the other hand, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. I love relationships. I am a relationship person. So I do
Yes,
have to
Lord.
be very mindful. I do have to be very mindful when I'm dating too, make sure that I'm somewhat detached because I don't need to
Right.
be like, oh, I can be that person like, oh yeah, because I get excited about not everybody, but I do for Crystal and Carissa, but I have to.
We be
Did you say
married in the
something?
first conversation. You hear me? Oh,
Right.
girl, the wedding gonna be. Oh, the
That is
reception,
your
and wait,
boyfriend,
like,
and
wait
that
a
is
Oh,
your
I know
minute.
all the
I
details.
don't even know his
But
middle
Tracy, you
name.
brought up a good thing while we were having that conversation. Speaking of the women on this platform that have a lot to do, a lot going on, you brought up the fact that maybe some people have too much time on their hands.
Oh yeah.
That is why they entertain too much of every little thing that's going on in their life. Like maybe you need more to do.
hmm I agree with that.
Yeah. And yeah, that definitely because and I was also thinking about, and that's kind of a part of what this video is about, is making time or having time. And I used to always hear, if somebody wants to be bothered with you or deal with you, they're going to make time.
That is
And I
absolutely true.
right, but it didn't hit me until I was noticing some of the guys that I was talking to. They were like, "You don't ever call me," and I was thinking, well, there wasn't that much of, and not saying this to be funny, but there wasn't enough impression for me to be like, yeah, let me call such and such. So if I call you or I'm texting you, that means, okay, you ran across my mind at this time. Let me make some time for you. Otherwise, I'm engulfed in my job or my business or hanging out with my homegirls or my daughter, or, I'm engulfed in that other stuff, and you didn't make so making
Mhm.
time, that thing is serious. If they're not making time for you and they're not calling you, they're not thinking about you. Trust me. I know
They're
from
not
personal
interested.
experience.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
period.
not at all. Not at
Yes,
all.
busy. You're never too busy. You make time for what you want to make time for.
Exactly. And
Right.
that is so
Ray,
true.
Ray,
And if
Ray
I, and
pointed out to
can I
me.
say something? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Reese,
What'd you
right.
say?
No, I said Reagan had to point that out to me because I would be like, I'm just too busy, and she'd be like, No, you're
Yeah,
not.
because Crystal well, I can't say that because I don't want to be on here snitching. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, but
What
yeah, because I was like, man, that's a lame excuse. You said that. And he went for that? Like, get out of here. But we do, or we just, for me, I just won't answer the phone or I will block you. Like, I'll see certain stuff and I won't even waste time. I just block. Like,
Block, blocking Yana all day.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to understand.
Well,
But
I
what I
don't
was going to
know.
say is that we were talking about making time for people. So as we previously stated, all of us are busy women, and we're not the only busy women. There's a lot of single mothers who have careers, who are busy, and who want to date. So if I am taking time away from my job, from my child, from my homegirls, from my regular scheduled program to make time
Right.
for you, I'm gonna need for you to appreciate the time that I'm making for you.
That
I'm not
part.
saying, get whatever you can get. I'm not saying that. But I do need you to recognize that there was an adjustment made to allow me to spend time with you. So if that ain't enough for you, either number one, you can voice your opinion and let me decide if I can adjust or not. Or number two, you can just, you know,
Go on.
Go on.
hmm
Bye.
yeah,
What
yeah.
do you think makes it women think, when I know we kind of touched on some things, that it's hard out here? It's hard today.
I,
What makes women think that? Because I listen, I was really scared, and mentally, I probably never physically said it out of my mouth. But when it was time for me, like going through my divorce, and I was excited to date, but then I would see like men ain't nothing, they ain't nothing, they ain't nothing, and then I would
You
talk
attract
to
what you
different
are,
guys,
period.
huh?
Mhm.
You attract what you are.
Talk about it, Risa.
I feel as though the same energy that you put out 9 times out of 10 is the same energy you receive. Now, when that 10 times comes, it should be easy enough for you to be like, no, and therefore you did not experience that man ain't nothing because you didn't give him a chance to be nothing. When they ain't nothing, you can usually see it pretty clear. So if you want to
Yeah,
entertain that, you have to have certain standards for yourself. So the man that you're talking to ain't nothing because you just out here talking to anybody just to say you talk to somebody.
right. And
Yeah.
why waste your time?
I
Why
think it's
waste your
this
time?
is
My time is very valuable. I ain't got
What, Chris?
time.
I think it's a
Yeah,
lot. You said too, like sending them through an interview process and trying to make like trying to make them the lifetime partner. You just met them, like
Right.
you really know how they are and how they're going to handle certain situations, and you already got them as your husband. And then when they don't want to be with you, they're disappointed, and you like dating is dead and all it is. But it's not.
Right. You just don't know how to date.
Right.
exactly. I think another thing too is that we're impatient and we have false expectations. I
Hmm.
think
A
I
false
also think
expectation.
so that we also have a false narrative of relationship too. So
Hmm.
it all correlates together. And what I mean by that is we jump to the romance in relationships, period, it seems like,
Yeah.
when the foundation is the friendship.
Right. Do I even
So
like you?
Hmm.
yeah,
Do I like the way you
dating
hold your mouth? Do I like the way you chew your gum?
all that. So
Right.
I need
All of
some
that.
time to figure all that out. I mean,
Mhm.
to me, I think even approach the dating scene as if we're trying to find a boyfriend and just mingle, have fun. Like I say, whatever fun means to you, and learn how to approach dating from the narrative of trying to get to know a friend.
Like platonic state.
Yeah, meet a friend, and then you can build on seeing if that person is ready for romance. But I think we keep getting let down because it's like, oh, well, I keep meeting these guys and giving it a chance to go out with them, and they keep falling short of my expectations. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
the
because
expectations are not realistic.
Right. I agree with
with
that.
expectations of always trying to find a boyfriend,
Hmm.
try to find a friend.
Right.
One
That's
thing
I
to tag
date.
on to. Oh, go ahead, Crystal. I'm sorry.
I date for friends. That's how I date. Like, and then if it goes to something else, then it goes to something else.
Mhm.
Everybody's a friend.
Right.
Hmm.
We're all friends.
But what I was gonna say is I absolutely agree with the friendship because one of the things with me and my ex were we were friends first. And that actually sustained a lot of our marriage, even when we were supposed to call it quits a long time ago, because we were friends first. We knew how to laugh, we knew how to have a good time. So those
Yeah.
days when I couldn't stand him and I was just like, ugh, he was still my friend. We were
Right.
still, somewhat friends, even, when he passed. So
Mhm.
that friendship part, you need that part. I much
Hmm.
rather have that part first. That's the like perfect foundation.
Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel flirty.
All right.
I'm not
Right.
romantic every day. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Sometimes I just don't feel like being bothered. But you know what I'm saying? My homie will understand that.
Right.
Right.
Let's talk about having a separate life outside of your mate. How important is that to you in your relationship?
Extremely important. And I think it's a mutual respect with me and my honey. But man, I'll quote the video that you shared on your Facebook page one time that we discussed, and that was that guy saying that he told his wife when he met her, "Look here, if I got to leave my dreams for you, I'm gonna leave you. Then I'm gonna end
Right.
up leaving you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't make me change the desires of my heart to commit to you. Then I'm gonna end up falling short somewhere."
Hmm.
So I really think that dating is also a time to get to know yourself. Quit going into it thinking you trying to get to know all these different spirits. You know what I mean? That's why I say don't
Or
take
that
it so
that's going to complete you. You need to go in completed.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So get to
Hmm.
know yourself. You're learning your deal breaker.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What
But
happened?
What?
I heard some feet. It's some really bad feedback.
oh,
Oh, is
who?
it?
Hello. Was it?
Okay, everybody, who's gonna talk next?
I don't know.
Uh, I mean, I agree with what Kim.
Whoa, what happened?
I don't hear anything.
Is it on your
Me
end, bro?
either.
Everybody mute.
Everybody mute.
Oh, wait.
Crystal, talk.
I'm talking. Is it me?
Mute yourself, Crystal.
It's you, Ray. You might just need to remove back up from the mic or something. Not say something.
Something.
Is that better?
I don't look. I'm not dressed good from the bottom down. I don't need all that to be seen.
Well, we can't see nothing else,
You
but can
can't.
you
We
hear
can't.
us good now?
Yeah, I can hear everybody good.
We can't
Okay.
see nothing but your shirt, sweetie.
Okay, good.
Meow.
Stop it.
Look at
Rick.
that, baby, and the bread.
I can't. Goodbye. So, oh, so going back to what I was saying, did we get that answer? Did everybody tag into that about having a separate life outside of your partner?
No,
Oh,
only
I
Christy,
don't
I
think we
think.
expounded on it. We just said it's important, but just you need to know you because otherwise you will get lost in trying to find your identity in someone else's life and someone else's path. Two wholes need to merge together for real, for real. Not one person who's trying to figure out who they are. And now
Right.
that I've met somebody who seems whole, I'll just find my wholeness through them.
Yeah,
I've been there, done that before.
I think
ditto.
what happens with that is then I notice like a lot of my friends in relationships and even in marriages when they don't have an outside life and then it ends, where the relationship ends, or they get a divorce or whatever, they don't know how to live without that person
Right.
because
And
they put everything into that person and didn't save anything for themselves.
And that's what they end up regretting the most. I
Yeah.
lost myself.
Yeah, and I think going into relationships now, that's one thing that I'm not willing to do. You have to be open to compromise because when you combine your life with another life, of course, there's going to be things that that person has to change and that person has to change.
Mhm.
But as long as it's not your core values or your core self, I think that the only way you're going to be able to stand firm on that is if you know exactly who you are and what things you're not willing to compromise. So for me, um, the biggest issue that I have is time, as we're talking about right now. So there will have to be some compromises made between the person who I'm talking to right now. Our schedules are completely opposite. I am a single mom, full time working, and all that stuff. He is a single father, but he's retired. So our we look completely different. You know what I mean? So um, my time is a little less available. So therefore I have to cut back time on certain things that I'm doing in order to make time for him. And those are things that I'm willing to do as long as it's not change who you are, compromise who you are and be just like me or you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I think that having a life outside of your partner is very important, but you have to find a really good, stable balance between the two. You can't just
Yeah.
be out partying with your homeboys all night and then think it's cool to come home at 12 o'clock at night and I just get whatever you got because I go to bed about 10. So,
Right.
yeah.
I
I
think if
think. Oh, go ahead.
I just think if you're a goal oriented person, then you probably are best suited with somebody else who's a goal oriented person.
Correct.
Hmm.
So you out here running businesses and multiple streams of income and got all these aspirations and goals, and then maybe you're with somebody who is a little more complacent, doesn't really see themselves doing much more than what they're doing today.
That's not gonna turn me on. I don't want it.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No.
Yeah, because I've turned a lot of people down, and I don't. And that's one of my things. Like, I don't know with me dating. Like, I don't know if I want another business or have another person who runs the business, but they have got to have something going on outside of me. I don't want to be in your face all the time. I want to be able to go hang out with my girls or my daughter. We'll have our time, but you have to have some kind of ambitious nature, or we're not gonna. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want it. What you do today? Oh, I went to work. What you doing? You got off. Oh, I went to my friend's house. What'd you do? I went to work. I went home. I went to work. Like, what do you have a life? No, not really. Well,
Now,
we
on
ain't
the
going to
flip
work.
side of that, some people, I feel like, I feel like some people. that is their life. You know what I mean? And that's okay if that's what you want
Yeah.
to do. If you want to
Hmm.
go to work and come straight home and whatever it is that you do, that's cool, you know? But don't expect me to do that because I like
Right.
to see what's going on around.
Yeah,
And travel. And I
Right.
don't like a scaredy cat. Let me tell you something. This, well, I got them blocked so they can't see it. So there was one particular person who, I like to travel. I like to travel. And even in the pandemic, I still travel. And I know I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and he was just like, it makes no sense how you just keep moving around. And I'm like, you know what? I've had COVID. I've taken, my precautions, I've done what I can do, but I'm not going to stop living my life because COVID is out here. I'm going to do the best I can, stay prayed up, blood of Jesus over me, and just do the best I can. But I'm not going to live my life. I don't live my life in fear. I just
Right.
And
do
that's why a lot
relieve
of
the
people
fear.
are so depressed. I'm not telling you to be reckless and just be out here
right.
Yeah.
partying and all this, but
Mhm.
you got to. I mean, it's a proven fact. If you just sitting in the house all day,
Yeah.
you're
You got
depressed. You're gonna end up being depressed. You need human interaction. You need sunlight. You need some type of something,
mental
some type of
Right.
stimulation.
stimulation.
Mhm.
Yeah, in order to survive.
Yeah. And if you're scared to like do certain things, we ain't gonna rock no way. Cause a lot of people will look at me and be like, oh gosh, you're taking too many risks. Or, well, you know what, we ain't gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. So no, you still flying, you sound like a slave. Like you can't go anywhere. We ain't gonna work. Mm-mm.
Right. And it's like,
No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. It does. Like, I don't know, because I don't, and man, get out of here. No. It was something I
Yeah.
wanted to take on to what Christy said about learning yourself while you're dating. So that has been a very big experience for me, is learning who I am and who I want in a partner. So essentially, I do want to get married again. I've said that before. I loved being a wife, loved it, want to be one again. But I got to make sure this next one is the right fit. But I'm learning about myself in the sense that I've always said I was the one that's submissive, and I don't mind having a man take the front seat and all this type stuff. Well, today I got told about myself. And I couldn't do
Um,
that, but like, and I'm never speechless. Never. Never sit down and be
mm,
speechless off of something somebody told me. And they were like, you're spoiled. Like you can't have what you want when you want it, and it's the problem. And I'm like, so I'm texting Crystal like, girl, he done said, and she like, well, yeah, you are spoiled. And I'm
Duh. I mean,
like,
was that a
so
secret?
I I said we all are to a certain extent, but
Duh.
yeah, he did get you
yeah,
together.
he got me like way together where I'm sitting up here thinking like I'm right. This happened. This is how I see it. And he was like, it's not the only way. Like the way you see it is not the only way. And like you want to have control over everything, which I do because I am a control freak. And he was like, this ain't gonna work. Like if we're gonna get to know each other, it's not just your way. And I'm like, this is some bull. Like I always said, yes, I want to have the man to lead, but not today. Like, can you just kind of slow roll me into it, please?
No,
No,
I'm
absolutely not.
happy.
Hey,
I'm happy.
tell me, okay?
Yeah,
I like it
I
And
love
a
that's what I
lot.
that's why I had to fall back. Basically, it's like,
Uh-huh.
oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir. Okay.
it.
But only if you have the credentials to be able to do that. You can't be
Right.
Yeah.
standing with your mama
Oh yeah,
and
no, we
asking
ain't
me
even
for gas
talking to
money
him.
trying to tell me what to do. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
that right
no.
all
now.
right.
But y'all
Well,
remember
hopefully
what
we'll get
Jill
to
Scott
start a
said, and I
conversation
hold
soon.
firm to it. If you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. But if you can tell
Period.
me what to do, you can tell me what to do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't
Period.
say
Period.
nothing, but I'm okay. You
Mhm.
right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
So,
Huh?
so you brought up the subject of marriage, and I was gonna say, can we be kind of a little more transparent here? Because I got some fears,
Yeah.
and I have learned these fears through my dating experience. What I'm fearful about marriage, And one of the things that I do like about dating or being single, and even though I'm dating one person, still considered single, is I like the I miss you factor. I
Yeah.
think I don't I,
So
like
do you
I'm
guys not
fearful.
live together?
Nope, we don't live together.
Okay.
He's Mr. Independent, I'm Mrs. Independent. I mean, we have a healthy balance of being codependent and independent, I think, but I don't know. I guess I
I think
just
you
feel
still can create that in your marriage. I know I will definitely create it in my marriage because I like to travel. So hopefully me and my homegirls can go out, or I can go by myself or take Kenny, stay busy with my own stuff. That's that life outside of him that you can create that I
right.
miss you factor. Make sure that he got somewhere he gotta go. You don't always have to be in his face. And also, I definitely believe it'll make the sex better. When you're gone, you gotta create it. That's something you have to create. Um, Even in the house that we had before, like you go to your spot and I'm gonna go to mine. Like it wasn't, you have to create that, but that wasn't created till like toward the end. But I I think you can create it.
That's my fear as well, Christy. Like all my friends would say, Christy, you have to date somebody in the military, somebody that's a doctor, because I just get sick of people.
You won't get sick of the right one though. You won't get sick of the right one.
Now that's true. That's
So
true.
You
here's
won't.
I'm a little bit different. I like to be independent and have my own thing, but I'm also very clingy. I'm a clingy type of person. I like to snuggle and cuddle and rub and pet and all that stuff. But I do like having the I miss you factor as well though, because I can be a lot. So I don't want you to be tired of me rubbing and snuggling and petting. So a break in between sometimes to make you miss all of that, I feel like is necessary. So I'm gonna do my best and making sure that it's a healthy balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
Mm.
thinking, my honey likes to run the remote a lot when we're together watching TV, and I'll be thinking, I hope he knows that if I lived with him, I would not be watching all this all the time.
Well, you need to let him know because one day y'all could be cohabiting. And that's one
Right.
thing I
Yeah,
do believe in is speaking up, like not necessarily in a defensive
real
way or yeah, just to be able to have a conversation because something came up and I got corrected, which, as I previously stated, I love it. But at the same time, there's a certain way that you can
Hmm.
correct me. So I'm gonna need you to watch your tone and keep your hands on your head. But okay,
right.
dutifully noted. But next time you got something to say, I'm gonna need for you to bring that down a couple notches. I understand you passionate about how you feeling, but we ain't gonna talk to me like that. That's what we're not gonna do.
Communication is very important.
Key,
Very, very,
yes.
very. And I remember, and I tell people this all the time, right? Maybe like 3 years, 4 years into our marriage, I could not have a conversation. It was like I was walking on eggshells with him
And that's what I'm
because
not
I
trying to
didn't want to
do.
get him upset. I couldn't express myself. So that's why I'm so expressive now. But we got to
Same.
the point where I was writing him like letters just to say what I felt. And one day I got tired of it. I was like, you know what? I should be able to speak what's on my mind without it going to a whole nother level. So communication is super important to
It's
me.
very important to me. I
Super.
I feel like being vocal and it don't have to be a and
Right,
we
right,
have to find another way to communicate because I'm the type of person I can easily say, you hurt my feelings. And you have to take your pride out of it because I can be stubborn, I can be snap back, I got to clap back. Do you hear me? They come like that. Okay? Especially when it comes with the opposite sex. But for me, what I'm trying to do is not take any toxic behavior into any relationship, friendship that I'm
right.
having. So I'm trying to correct that and set these foundations of healthy communications now. So me, I don't do I really want you to know that you hurt my feelings? Not for real,
Yeah,
but I think it's important for me to communicate that with you because if you hurt my feelings and I don't say nothing because I'm trying to be hard, you're gonna keep doing the same thing because you don't know that there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
that's when I begin to start resenting you for something that you're not even aware of because I'm not communicating that with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about red flags. Do we see red flags and ignore them?
Yes, we absolutely do.
All the time.
All day long.
What keeps us in situations we need to leave?
Sex.
What are some other things? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Money.
A lot
yes,
of times, just being in them for a period of time.
Being
It doesn't
comfortable.
have to be one particular thing that you just think is so amazing and it's outweighing everything. But sometimes we stay in comfort zones that aren't comfortable, but
Hmm.
they're comfort zones
They're
just because
normal.
they've been
Mhm.
there, yeah, for a period of time.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, even though they're uncomfortable, we've normalized it.
Right.
I
yeah.
I wasted 10 years of some comfortable. Like,
I wasted 20.
whew.
Yeah.
Man,
But I grew. I grew from it. And I know every experience we have, we should grow from it and know what we want, moving forward and what we don't want, hopefully, and not, repeat the same cycle because that's one of the things I saw myself, especially starting today, I was repeating the same guy in a different body. And I was
I
Hmm.
was
like, I
And
don't
that's
yes,
want
I
why
was
everybody does. We're, I'm sorry, Christy, go
yeah,
ahead.
Grace. Oh no, I was just scared to say that's probably another reason why we get so discouraged in the dating process
The
because we
same thing
repeat
I
the
was gonna say.
Mhm.
yeah.
same.
But there was
That's
something
why
in me
women
that
feel
had
like
to
all
change.
men are dogs because they keep dating the same dude.
Mhm.
But
But
Right.
all the
it's
dudes you
because we
date
go
is
to what's
trash.
familiar. We
Right.
go to what's
Mm-hmm.
What's
familiar.
comfortable?
And so I'm just like, oh yeah, but oh, but I'm
Mhm.
finding
Hmm.
myself having to say the same thing, think the same thing, compromise. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to have somebody that got their stuff together, that I'm not having to like coach. I want to learn something from you. And
Right.
that's huh.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and that's what the little
Disagree.
fella that I was not want to call him little fella, but the guy, because my dating coach said quit calling them little fellas.
Yes.
But the guy I was talking to today, like, I have to learn to shut up. Like, I don't know everything. And I don't claim to, but a lot of
I'm
people be
so
like,
glad this is being recorded.
Ah,
"Shut up, Risa."
Teresa, if I ever
gross.
a high
Praise
five,
God. Who is this man? What's his number?
high
Ah,
five.
Damn. I need to call
But
him.
like I said, it's not too, and even if we don't have like a romantic, because I'm not, even though it may not be romantic, but just the point of somebody, me really wanting to sit and learn and listen, I'm like, okay. And it's crazy because that's what I asked for. Like the next guy, I want to learn something from him. I don't want to be the know-it-all. And he's like, well, if you don't want to be the know-it-all, you have to be quiet. And I was like, okay.
Praise
that
God.
was good enough
Right.
feedback. I know for me, I realized I gotta have somebody that I look up to. I'm
Yeah,
not a person who's easily intimidated. I have a lot of confidence. I think it's one of my strongest attributes. So it just takes me not that it takes a lot, I shouldn't say, but
you want to be
I,
impressed.
yeah, man, I gotta be able to look
Mhm.
up to you, not just looking at you. I gotta be able to look up to you, because to me,
Intrigue.
for a lifetime, feeling like you got some kind of wisdom, some kind of good counsel, some kind, something. I gotta look
Yeah,
up to.
I just feel like, this is what I told the person who I'm talking to now. It is completely different from whoever, anybody I've ever talked to before because it's like, I ain't really got to try to fix nothing. Not that he's
what?
perfect or anything. He's
That's
not perfect
good.
by any means. You know what I'm saying? But I'm tired of trying to encourage you. I mean, of course, everybody knows I'm the biggest cheerleader of whoever is around me. You know what I mean? That's just my personality. But me have to constantly like I don't want to have to give you the goal and then encourage you to get to the goal and ask you why you ain't
Yes,
met the goal. Like all this potential stuff. If you ain't met your potential
moving
and trying
in
to
it.
go further than what you already are, I can't
I
because
don't
I'm
want
not
it.
set up that way. Like I'm
That's a project.
clearly, I'm just the type of person like, okay, I met this goal. What else can I do? Oh, I did this. What else can I do? And if you're just sitting there stagnant, it's like, it's a no for me. I just
Right.
cannot. I can't
Right.
do that because I'm constantly moving. Like, I'm constantly moving.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say because it's like, I get tired of, and I'm an old ass lady. I'm an old ass lady on my inside. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, on the
Like,
inside.
I'm 35 years old, but all of my friends are 40 plus. The gentleman that I'm talking to now is 50, and it's the person I've never dated that old before. And so it's just completely different. Like, I ain't got to worry about your car breaking down. I mean, I ain't got to worry about, you know what I'm saying? Do you got gas money? I don't have to worry about none of that kind of stuff. Like, I'm the type of person, when I have financial issues, they're like $1,000 plus type of financial issues. If I can't be like, hey, I'm in a bind, can you help me do this, that? And that's very rare if it does happen. But if it do happen, are you gonna be able to get me on that?
Right.
If the answer is no, then I'm not saying that I need your money, I need you to have money, but I need you to be on an even playing field. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What I
it's
have and
really,
more.
it just takes
Yeah.
away so much. It makes everything so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
just
was good,
never knew.
Rachel.
And
Mhm.
why that flags that ties into the red flags because I know when I met my honey, I met him a month out of he was after he got out of prison, and he was
Hmm.
in for 8 years and 8 months. So everybody's got the don't date them when they fresh out because they're gonna tell you that they somebody they really not and all this and that. And
You can
so
tell when they
my
are and when they ain't, though.
Yeah.
yes, and he's working two jobs. Like first mission was, or he wasn't using the excuse that he didn't have a car. He was catching the bus. He was doing whatever he could. Eventually got on to, working at CAT, worked his way up to a supervisor position. I mean, and God just started rewarding his efforts from that point on. But, like Keisha Cole said, sometimes it ain't where he's at, but it's where he want to be.
Yeah.
You find
Exactly.
Right.
you can see, okay, I see the reason why you haven't reached your potential right here, but I also see
Reason.
your drive to want to get there. So I can
Right.
work
And
with
he
them
Yes.
didn't
both.
necessarily need you to get there either. And
Right.
that's the thing.
And don't
Right.
be doing all that damn talking. I don't want to hear what you gonna do. Show me. I don't want to hear that you trying because trying means you are moving and you're not moving. You're just saying that you're trying. But
There's
saying
no,
Yeah,
that you're
there's
trying
no,
does not mean
try
that you're
don't
like
exist.
do. Don't try,
Yes,
you
try don't
do.
work.
Period.
better than you can tell me.
Try's not a word. It's do
It's
or
just
don't.
it's you do or you don't. Period. I tell my boys that to this day right now. Mama, I'm trying. No, you're not, because if you was trying, it would be done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good. Well, Christy, I'm glad you were able to kind of stick through it because everybody ain't able, and everybody's
But
story
she didn't
ain't.
have really nothing to stick through, because here's the thing for me. It's different when you a free ass man and you still trying. He was
Mhm.
locked up. He got out and he didn't try. He did.
Mhm.
That's a complete difference. And for people to be like, oh girl, they be no, I can tell when somebody is just talking, and I can see when somebody is doing. That's
He
completely different.
he was
absolutely.
for you, Christy. He was action. I mean, like you said, he wasn't worried. He wasn't talking about he didn't have a car. He was riding the bus. And some
Right.
people like, I can't ride the bus. Why
Let
can't
their pride be in the way,
you?
Right. Can I get a ride? No. Are they paying
or
Right.
get your car.
$15 back and
Drive.
forth for an Uber? Or can I ride to Jody? Let me drop
Yep.
you
Yeah,
off at
let me
work.
get your car and drop you off.
Listen.
Right.
Will
Mm-mm.
never happen.
Mm-mm.
Let me
Well,
say
speaking of being
again,
fresh out of
I've been
prison,
there,
also
done that.
talking about dating. My honey also told me that while he would like to be my boyfriend, it was not time for that.
Right. Because
So
what man is trying to be in a relationship with somebody when they don't have themselves together? To me,
Yeah.
again, that
But
speaks volumes as a man.
yeah.
yeah,
What can I
yeah,
do for you right now? I can't even do for myself.
I
Mm-hmm.
respected him so much more for that.
Yes,
I mean,
for real.
and
That's
And you
real.
the
really want to give
reality,
it to him then, right then, when he said no, like, yeah, now I want to do
Come
exactly.
here, let
I
me tell you
saw something
something.
in the dating is dead group that said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but men, you can still get some and be honest too.
that
Yes,
part.
because
Somebody
that's the
listen,
part that's gonna give
listen,
you what you
somebody
want.
put it
Be
on a
real with me.
t-shirt. So you ain't got to lie. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're being honest, I'm about to throw it to you. You better open that catcher's mitt. I'm gonna open mine. Hope
But
my
right,
parents is not watching. Just kidding. Just
I am speechless. I don't know what to say, sister.
oh, he had the
Sister
audacity to
Reagan
keep it
Adams.
real with me. I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, what more can you ask for? Like, and I'm just an open book. I can't lie to save my life. You understand what I'm saying? I can't
Right.
fake being nobody else at all. So if you don't
Mm-mm.
like what you see, I might be cute, I might be ugly, I might have eyebrows, I might have an afro, I might, you never know. So if you don't like me, then it's a wrap. Cause you know, like if it's my appearance, you never know what you're gonna get. Ever. Like right now, I look like I jumped. I look like my mama on her
Oh
on
Lord.
her senior pictures day, okay? Like I feel real
Lord.
80
Your
today,
pictures.
okay?
She's so
If I find the picture, I'm gonna show y'all look just like Sharetta when she took her senior pictures. Like this fro is killing me. I'm used to my long, luscious weave, but hey, guess what? That's what my friend gonna get, okay? Rapunzel yesterday and teeny weeny today. It's just how that's how it flows. But if you don't like Carissa, then it don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't, you don't like that person, then it don't really matter because. And this brings me to a different. This is something completely different. So I was dating this guy, and his mom had gotten sick, terminally ill, and her boyfriend was just like so loyal to her. And the thing is, she couldn't have sex or anything like that, but he loved her so much that didn't matter to him. So that's the type of relationship that I want to be in. If I lose a limb or something, I still want to be as fine to you as I was the day you met me because you love me, not the way that I look. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to love me for who I am. And I want to be able to love
Mm.
you the same way too.
That's
So
that
the
to
only way
death
you can do
do us
that is
part.
by people being transparent. Huh?
yes.
To death do us part. Like if you with somebody, you're supposed to ride with them through
Right.
thick. I mean, if it's to certain things, of course, but yeah,
Mhm.
you ain't supposed to just leave because they not whole no more.
Physically. You
Physically,
stupid.
No, I
Anyway.
mean whole in different ways. Carissa make everything a joke. I meant like mentally and everything.
right.
But you can't say that after I said lost the limb, Crystal. I mean,
But
but
I wasn't just talking to that thing. I was talking in general, and you were like, "Oh Lord, whole like everything I say, people swear is shade. I can't."
I'm sorry, friend. It was funny. I apologize.
Well, did anybody have anything else they wanted to tag into? Because I can't think of nothing else.
I got
You
one
have
last
any
thing to say
advice
that
for
we
the
already
people who are
said.
dating? Huh?
I do.
What?
Um,
Here we go. Listen, because
I do.
all I was saying is treat it like just be light with it. Don't
Yeah.
take it serious. And just, develop friendships with people. Don't automatically try to develop like, okay, this is my boyfriend 5 minutes
Yeah.
after you meet him. You know what I'm saying? Let it grow into a
mhm.
relationship.
And
Don't
don't force it.
Yeah, don't force it. Don't go through an interview process like I gotta ask him these 25 questions like off the rip. You know what I mean? Like try to get to know him. And I don't know. That's just my advice.
Genuine conversation. Like
Yeah.
if things don't come up in genuine conversation, don't have a checklist, because that's annoying. Like I for one, I have to talk to people all the time, all day long. You know what I mean? So if I'm talking to a guy, um I want it to be very conversational. I want it to be intriguing. I want it to be engaging. I want it to be stimulating. I don't want to just talk about I don't know, like shallow things, surface things, burgers and fries, or what's your favorite thing to eat? What's your favorite color? All that kind of stuff. That's bullshit, naive to me. Like if I spend enough time around you, I know that you like gray and blue because that's what you wear. I don't have to ask you what's your favorite color. If
Right.
I'm
Right.
spending time talking to you, I already know who your favorite people are. I know what your favorite things to do. I know what you're interested in just by having that conversation with you. I don't have to ask those. So what's your favorite food? Like if you observe enough, you'll be able to understand that. Treat a person like a person and not like a job.
I had somebody run me through an interview process like that, and I blocked him so fast. I was like,
Right.
I'm gonna have to answer your 30 questions on what's my favorite color, what's my favorite food. Bye.
One
And
guy did
what
me
are
like
we
that
in
about my
kindergarten?
weight. Huh? What, Risa?
I just said, what are we in kindergarten? Now, what did he say about
Right.
your weight?
Yeah, so I have full body pictures. All my pictures are recent from this year. Like I have my pictures up, and I always try to when I take more, I refresh them. So I put the little picture when we went to brunch with my little crop top on. So I had
Crop
that one
top,
up.
drop top.
So that
Hey.
so at that point, it was maybe like a week old. So he was asking me like all these questions, like send me some pictures. So I sent him a picture or some pictures, and I'm like, okay, but all the pictures I have are on, the site. They're recent. Now, are you thick or are you fat or are you this? Are you that? And I'm like, you can see the pic. Like, what do you want me to do? Get naked and take some pictures?
That's what I'm
And
talking
I'm
about.
like,
Somebody done
He
catfished him.
sounded
He
like
saw it.
oh, he
he
sounded like
was. It was too much. And
He
I'm
got
like,
catfished. Poor
he was
baby.
yeah.
like, so when can we meet? Because I was like, never block. Listen, I don't have time for that. Like it's too many pictures on my site
We
for
do
you to
have to,
be asking. And I have several full body pictures up there.
but Reagan, you do have to be
Especially,
that nowadays because people will catfish. I'll be like, we
And
do have
not only that, they have those little
fine.
body altering apps that make you
Who
Yeah,
do one
got
of these.
time for all
a
of
lot
that?
of
I definitely don't, but I'm just
a
saying.
lot of
And I
women
already
ain't
got the boom pow
let's
wow. So
say,
Now I'm gonna throw a quick filter on to kind of probably smooth my skin out, but my skin is not bad because I take care of it. So other than that, who got? And it was just it became too much. And I like my relationships private, and I was like, this is too much. Like
oh,
you sound like it's too much. Are you hiding from somebody?
yeah, he
Like
hired his
I
wife.
don't want it.
yeah, I'm dating the CIA already.
Yeah,
Right, girl, I
he
right.
blocked
hired
him so fast, and it don't take me much. You said what?
Not at
Okay.
all. I can't believe we still friends.
Oh, I got a dating tip. Little fella I talked to last week.
stop calling me.
So, real nice little guy, but he was hung up on his baby's mama. And for
Mhm.
an hour, I kid you not, without a breath. That's all he talked about.
Oh well, boy, listen, call her. Call her want to hear that mess.
Listen, and then on top of that, what extra
I
matters
got
because
one
he
too
had
now.
1 year olds. Baby, you're almost 50 with a 1 year old. I ain't gonna be able to do it, sir. Goodbye.
I
Goodbye.
told
I'm out the
when I was talking to that one guy, and he said he had 3 kids, and he said one was 28, one was 21, and then he said he had a 1 year old, and I was like, night
way.
night.
People be slipping
And he
up.
was
Y'all let them men live. They be slipping
Now
up.
we are. Let them live with them children and
Yeah,
their baby
with
mamas.
them, yeah, with
right.
them kids.
Like Christy said,
With them
and the
kids.
baby mama was 20.
Okay, so I do have a tip because this is
Okay.
something that rang my bell. So here's the deal. As Chrissy stated about herself previously, I'm a very confident woman. I have decided on what woman I want to be, and I have became that woman. I really like who she is. There's still a couple things that everybody's flawed. I need to work on. We all know this, but for me, I'm a bomb ass person. Anybody around
Yes.
me knows. Like people want to be around me because I'm just a bomb ass person. Like if I wasn't me, I would want to be my friend too. That's just how it goes. Okay. So what you're not gonna do is keep comparing me to these other people that you used to talk to because I'm not them.
Right.
Period. Never will I be, never have I been. So I understand like when you are going into new relationships, it's natural for us to compare who we are talking to who we had previously. But some of that stuff you need to keep to yourself. And yes, it's okay to communicate your past hurt, But please don't bring that into what you got going on. And don't use that against me because I'm a completely, totally different person. So don't
Yeah.
tell me, oh, well, she was this and she didn't do that and she didn't do that. Okay, I'm listening because usually um, when people are talking about things like that, those are things that they don't like and don't want to do. So, okay, that's dutifully noted. Got it. But don't keep talking about it and don't keep comparing me to that person or I don't know. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not her. So don't do that. And he ain't him. So don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Please
Right.
don't.
Everybody
Cause
gets a
ain't
clean
you ain't gonna
slate.
never find another like me. And that's period. I'm just saying. I'm not making it like I'm just, God's gift. I am special and he did gift me to a lot of people. But I'm not making it like I'm just the perfect woman because the Lord knows that I am absolutely not. I am a spoiled brat. Everybody knows that as well. And there's things that I need to work on. We all know that. But the great parts about Katie are super great. Just saying.
Yes, they are, Risa.
Yeah.
I know
So
that's
don't be
right.
comparing me
Y'all,
to the trash and the filth.
I
So
think
That
don't
is
talk
all.
about past relationships and don't, well, you
It's
can talk
okay to
about them,
talk about them.
but
It's okay
not
to talk
dwell
about them.
there.
I think a lot of times we all compare, even if we're not comparing to that person. In our head, we like, oh man, what's the name would have never did this.
I got ooh,
Right.
I got one thing we don't need to compare. Y'all ready?
I already know
No, Lord.
what.
Don't compare your
Oh,
sexual partners.
Duh.
right.
You already know you cannot do that because what that
Yeah.
one person did is what that one person did.
Yeah,
And now you
but
got
that is a hard thing. I'm going to tell you. It's hard,
That's
especially if
why
it was
he
great.
intended for us to only be with one person.
Yeah. But we
that
messed that up when we
Well,
slept with more than
right.
one
I think,
person.
That up, Carissa, but you're right. You're right.
Don't
and
compare.
women can be sexually stimulated in more ways than one, and our mental plays a big role in that.
It
So
is.
don't
Mm-hmm.
miss out on the mental stimulation that can contribute in the bedroom, for
I,
your partner.
if you really like them, you'll make it work.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of things that can help with that. Thought I'd
Candy
say.
by
I haven't had that issue, but if I did, I'd let you know.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, Christy. That mental stimulation can only last so long. I'm just saying. Um, and let me just say this, and I'm super serious about this. There's no way I'm going to get with marry anybody else, and we are not sexually compatible. Not happening. I'm not faking any orgasms. I'm not doing none of that. I,
Yeah.
like for real.
I
If we
feel
gonna be together like long term, I need to be attracted to you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to. It
On
needs to be
every
good,
level.
and
Hmm.
I need to be satisfied because I'm gonna make sure he does the same. I mean, I'm the same. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So that
absolutely
mental
no.
can only get me
You're
so far. You better learn how to take it on in the home base. You hear me?
It's a combination of some things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I need the one
Well,
to
the
the
mental usually just gets the party started. Now, it
Yeah.
may lead
yeah.
to
Right.
other things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, the mental gets the
We
party
gonna be
started.
fine while we're doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They get me excited. I'll be like, oh, so this what it is? Y'all, I remember. Can I tell this? I can. So
Mm.
this was years ago. Years I was not married, and this little I can't call him little fellas. This
He was a
guy.
little fella back then. What happened, girl?
So I had got was celibate for a long time, like maybe a year or two. And I was like, I need to get myself together because I was trying to get back in school, just get myself together, not worrying about guys. Look, came home, this guy was like, and it was a guy I was liking. And I ran into him and we started talking, and I was just thinking, I'm not gonna give him none, wasted my whole celibacy. My
Baby,
whole
listen.
celibacy.
Been
I'm just
there.
gonna tell you, I done been there, done that.
And
Been
I'm talking. That's why I said that mental is some bull, Christy. I mean, it ain't, but it is.
Was well, you had a crush on him and you thought something. That's the thing about it. Them crushes, you be so physically
And he
attracted.
And
was
that
fine.
goes again with the expectations that
Listen,
we
I
have
was so
created.
let down and
You
hurt. Like I
created the
wasted two
expectation,
minutes of my time. I could have been
not
home.
to.
I've done that plenty of times. Crushes, and you be
Look
like,
at
Definitely,
crush.
yeah, you can't have the mental without at least
The
getting
the
some.
home run.
you could at least
Yeah,
did not have to put his business out there like that. That
He's
just
not
cracked me
around.
up.
That was
Two
so many years
minutes.
ago.
That was
So
rude.
many years ago.
I mean, I don't think he would know she was talking about. I would hope not.
I would
I
be
don't,
damn no. He
I
better
don't
know.
think he's even on
Good. It
Facebook.
was
Matter of fact,
you.
I have not even seen him since then. So I
It
was
was
like
you.
18, 19.
yeah,
Anywho, yeah, Christy, the mental only goes so far. You have to be able to finish it. And I'm not getting in a relationship where I'm not satisfied anymore.
Especially
Yeah,
if I have to carve out time. If I have made time, because this going back to our original situation, it's all about the time. If I am creating time to spend with you, please don't waste it. And don't like some people like to argue and some people like the little go back and forth. They think that's cute. That's not cute. I've been
no.
in some dating situations where they kind of want to be argumentative with me just for no reason because they think it's cute. I don't. I'm not an argumentative person. I don't find it attractive. I'm not going to
yeah,
sit on this
Yeah,
phone and argue with you, and I'm not going to text you. I want to talk to you. I want to see you. So I if you haven't treated me enough to where I am willing and able to make time for you, I just need for you to reciprocate that and receive it too. Receive it and reciprocate.
Right.
That's all I ask. That's it.
That's
but
good,
they
Ray.
may not know that they wasting your time if they don't
Oh,
know
you
that
gonna know.
they're
Oh,
trash.
you gonna know.
right. They need to know.
Can I give one more piece of dating advice?
Sure.
We need if you are out here dating and you're having sex with whoever you're dating, I'm not being judgmental or nothing like that, but if you are and their sex is trash, you need to let them know, and you need to let them know correct it if they can.
If
Wait.
you like
No,
it
That
enough.
there, nope, 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 nope. There's no correction. I'm
well,
It
too
is
old for
correction.
correction.
listen.
No.
So the next,
Hey,
so
Crystal, tell us how. Tell us a good way to go about correcting. Like, how do you say that?
I'm not listening.
you ain't listening.
No, go ahead.
I haven't experienced that. Thank the Lord. I've, I've been very blessed. But if you have experienced, because a lot of times girls will be like, I had sex with him, it was trash. Okay, well, did you tell him it was trash? I mean, you can't tell him it was trash, Christy, but you could say, you know,
Do
I
you
wasn't
tell him? Do you
feeling it.
just
Yeah.
out and out tell him, or do you wait until he? What if he asks, or do you? What if he doesn't ask?
If he
There's
asked
always a conversation after sex,
my
right?
my right, my friend told me, she said, and
Wait.
I never thought about it like this. She said, Crystal, I told her about me. This was years ago. And I said his sex was trash. She said, well, did you tell him? And I said, girl, can you do that? And she said, yeah, you should have told him. And you know why? I was like, why? She said, so he can fix if he can fix it before he have sex with another girl and give her that trash.
Well, not only that, if you are if you like this person and you feel like some things that can be fixed where you think it can work out, I just think communication. But that probably comes from the bedroom candy side of me though. But like it's just like, okay, so we was doing this. I wasn't really feeling that. But if you would have done a little something like
Right.
this, now I might
Yeah.
have, that
Yeah.
could have.
That's
Or
what
if
I'm
you
saying.
want to, I got some of this right here. We could try a little bit
Yeah.
of this right here.
Yeah. Now,
Something.
some things like Reagan said you can't correct. I mean, if it's there's some things you can't correct. Like they would have to get
Mhm.
surgery to correct them. But if you
Or
can,
some moves? But at the age of 40 something, how you don't know the basics? I'm
Well,
confused.
maybe
In,
they've been
out,
married to
round,
somebody
round,
for a
roll it
very
down.
what if you were
nobody
married
told
to
her,
somebody for a
baby,
very long
what the
time
hell?
and they are really comfortable with this very basic situation you got going on?
Because some women are married to men and they are not sexually satisfied, and they walking around here miserable with that husband, and
But
some
really, if
with
it's the
their
only
wife.
person you had sex with, you're not necessarily miserable because you don't know any different.
I'm talking about the ones that
Yeah,
have
that's true.
been.
But now there's
So,
a difference between not being satisfied and just some little pointers on how you
Right.
like it a little bit
Right.
better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm down for just being a full on teacher.
That part, I don't have time. Like we're in our 40s, sir.
I
So
have
you're
been.
not and I don't advocate for watching porn, but if you're watching porn, like get some pointers. Holler at your
If you
homeboy.
if you're watching
Holla at
that,
your homeboy.
you got to
Like
give them
Risa, you
correct
I was
answer.
about to say something. But if I have questions, I come and ask you guys.
That's true. That
That's
is
what I'm
true.
saying. So
But
holler at your
open
homeboy.
as are they as open
Men
as we
are
are?
not about to give
They
their whole.
talk about the other stuff. Why not? Dude, show what's your move? Like, tell me what you doing.
And if
I
not, then you got
I
to
can't
get them in a group
ask
setting
somebody
and bring the subject up so you can be like, so what y'all like? So let's go around the room and tell what we like. Or,
All right.
you
you
know me.
Oh,
what
dude, I'm
kind
gonna
of
try that on her because she don't like that. Yeah, because my girl, she like it's
I
a
don't
conversation.
think they talk like that.
I don't think they.
Men talk.
I got a lot of homeboys, and I ain't just never heard them be like, "Yeah, I be hitting it like this, and I be doing." No,
When we get off this call, I'm gonna ask whatever guy in my phone. Do you be talking to them?
yeah, send us
no.
some of
They
y'all.
might be
Guys.
like, "Hey, I hit that, and it was fire. That was this was fire. That was fire." They might say what she did, but they ain't gonna say what they be doing.
Nah, they ain't saying because they
I
probably
don't
like,
know. I beg to differ. I think those
I'm gonna have to ask
conversations
some of my
have been had.
homeboys.
Like
I
with
got lots of
close
homeboys. I'm gonna
friends,
ask
I
them.
believe they have been had.
they've not been.
I believe they have been.
I don't know. It's hard for me to. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they might be like, I do this move, and they be like, "What you do?" Okay, maybe I need to do the same thing. I don't know. I don't
I don't know if they're down for all the reenactments or not.
That right. Like we will. Now, girl, listen, let me show you what to do. Now I'll show you something
Right.
quick.
They'll be like, now what you do? Now where
Now
was
let
you
me
at?
show
Now
you.
you did
Let me
what?
show you
Oh,
what to
okay.
do.
know.
Show you what to do.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, girls, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about as far as dating is concerned that the women need to know right now?
Don't
I
forget to
think it's
date
important
yourself.
to be yourself. Yeah, date
Mm-hmm.
yourself, be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Know who you
Yeah.
are.
You can't be
And
happy.
date yourself doesn't necessarily mean like you got to go out to the bar all by yourself and sit there alone. I mean, but you should be using this as a time to feel comfortable being alone
Yeah, you
because
Mm-hmm.
got to know how to be alone for sure.
just because they don't feel comfortable being alone.
Because if you don't want to be with you, hell, what make you think somebody else do?
Nobody.
I wanted to
Yes.
also add, I believe for social media, your profile is extremely important on how you look
Hmm.
and what you say on there because you can, well, for me, I'm in a lot of different dating groups on Facebook. So when you go and comment in certain groups or whatever, and maybe not even in a group, but just out on somebody's face, you might, oh, well, I like what she said. Let me go and look at her profile. And they're like, oh, she's attractive, but she kind of look a little dusty. Her hair is not intact, or she got some crust in her eye and she on here cussing and acting a fool. Well,
It's
never
the
mind.
middle fingers for me.
It's
However,
the
I
fingers.
guess that person is showing you who they really are. They're
Yeah.
showing you their discernment.
Yeah, yeah. But if you want somebody, I mean, you can
But
get
you don't.
somebody. I'm not gonna say somebody, but the people that you're drawing, like you have to be mindful of what you got going on your page, what type of person you want to draw. I keep getting
That's
all
true.
these deadbeats. So what are you looking like on your post? What are you saying?
And I
Yeah.
also
Or
think
girls that
on the
show
flip
like
side,
a profile picture, like, and then be. I notice guys always say where girls like that always say stay out of my inbox, and they be like, well, if you wasn't naked on your
you
page,
always
people
thirst
go in
trapping,
your
sis.
profile.
So let me
Yeah.
be thirsty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you putting it
But
out
I
there.
was gonna say on the flip side of what you are saying, Reagan, I think that's very important to show all sides of you. So if you will look on my Facebook page, you will see me real cute. You will see me not cute at all. You will see me
Mhm.
in between cute. You will see me being a mom. You will see me working. you will see me out with my homegirls, because I think it's very important. People look at Facebook, and of course, it's not. You may assume whatever people gonna assume whatever they want to assume, but for me, it's important for me to be as transparent as I can be. And for
Mhm.
the most part, I am very transparent. You look on my page, basically what you see is what you get. People may assume other things or however they see fit for themselves, but I feel like it's my responsibility to put the truth out there. So, like I said, if you're a guy looking at my page, you're gonna see me when I'm real cute. You're gonna see me when I'm busted. You're gonna see me when I'm in between cute, which is usually never either I'm real cute or I'm real ugly. It's never really in between.
You're
So
never.
I just think that's important too, because especially if you're a person who wears a lot of makeup, you got on all this makeup and you all Jennifer Lopez fine or Kim
Mm-hmm.
Kardashian fine, and then you remove it, you looking like Cruella,
Mm.
like that don't work out. He like, now
Or
who
if
the hell is
every
this?
picture is a Snapchat filter.
That's a problem.
Them filters
I have
be
seen some.
having everybody messed up.
Ooh, and they take that filter off. I'll be like, ooh,
I
she
know.
Well,
It was
is
so
unattractive.
Yeah.
it be too
yeah.
much filter. Just do a little bit. Even your skin tone out. Take some of your neck off. Just a little bit. Not a whole bunch.
Me,
I
hate those
don't
filters.
want us to paint
I
the
hate
picture that we can learn a lot from people's social media. I know for me, the one thing that I learn from people through social media is their discernment. So, I mean, are you foolish enough to just put some old crazy stuff? Are you sharing stuff that's kind of, makes me think you got a little twisted personality? Why'd you find that funny? Why'd you share that to the max? So it just really shows me your discernment. It doesn't necessarily tell me a whole lot about you other than that, but at least
What?
I can see what you choose to
Right.
share. Like,
One thing I do, especially for my Facebook dating profile, is I don't like a whole bunch of questions. I just don't. So I try to get those answered off the rip. So a lot of
mm,
people are like, so tell me about yourself. I don't got time for that. I'm not doing all of that. I mean, I am, but I'm not. So what I
right,
do is if halfway interested, what I'll do is say, look, I'm going to share my profile with you. So
right.
you can, and because most like 90% of my profile is public. So I'll say here, this is my profile. Look at it. If you're interested, holler back at me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're like, oh yeah, hey, you blah blah. And some I've had guys like, you do way too much. Like you're not going to be able to be not into me, but you're not going to be able to concentrate on just me, which is true because I don't want to be
right.
honest. Like I want to have all facets. I want to have myself. I want to have you and you separately and us together. Like I don't want to just be all about you. But when I'm all about you, I'm all about you. But when I'm
Yeah,
not all about you, I'm not. So
yeah,
they need to know what they're getting into on the onset. So
true.
we don't have any discrepancies.
Yeah, a lot of women want to be saved, and then there's men out here who are ready to save them. So maybe those people are compatible.
Right.
Yeah,
Otherwise, that's why I say you gotta know how to have fun, how to do this life by yourself for real, and then everybody else is a cherry on top.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
But
do I remember having this one little fella? He told me, he said, I want to have a relationship with you. And I was like, oh, okay, so what's that entail? He said, because he told me, he was like, you work entirely too much. And I said, okay, but that's what I want to do. Oh, hold on, Reese is that letter back in. He said he wanted to have a relationship with me. And I said, okay, so what does that entail? And he said, I want you to be able to, he said, what? She backstage. Hold on. Oh, there she is. Okay. Sorry about
hey,
that. Hey, welcome back,
Hi.
Karen.
Sorry about that.
But he said that he would want me to quit my job, not
oh,
do my business anymore.
oh,
And
And
then do what?
that
Just put on
part, I was
applesauce,
like,
pity pat.
He was
Basically,
like,
what?
no, and he listen. He had a very, very, very good job, very stable. Had his own business, and he had work for a major company. So he was like, I make enough to take care of everything. So all you have to do, and he had a younger child. So he said, I would just need you to help me, with raising my other child, and you take care of the home. I said, I'm not even built like that. Like for me now, once my money gets to where I really need it to be in the next few months, like I'm going to be hiring somebody to take care of my house. I'm not cleaning. I don't even like cleaning up. Let's be clear about that. Not doing it. And so then he was like, well, I'm raising my daughters to make sure that they always depend on a man, that they go marry football players or men with money. And I said,
Mhm.
you're kidding, right? Because I'm
My
like, this
daddy
gotta
would
be the case.
never. Do you hear me?
Oh
Ronald
God.
would
And
never.
yeah. And basically, I mean, of course, we had to, stop talking because I was like, there's no need to even go further. Like, you cool, you cute. But after that, no, because that's not what I want. Like, I'm going to continue, like, for real, for real. If you got money like you got, like, I'm going to use my money, but I'm going to use yours too to make sure I'm out here living my dream. And I need, as you continue to do yours, I'm going to do mine too. He was like, no, you have to stay home and take care of me, cook and clean. I was like, yeah, no,
I
this ain't it.
mean, that's what they want to do. Like Christy said, it just depends on what type of woman you are. That's not you. Now, some women, that's what they want to do: stay home and cook and clean.
And that's what he said. He said
And
that
then
women like that, they work at Walmart. Well, you need to go to Walmart because that ain't where you found me.
women definitely like that more than likely work at those places. And that's not dig anybody that works at those places, but more than likely that's probably where they do work. So
I am flabbergasted because here's the deal now, sir. Now, I want to get up and go to work every single day? No. But if you have a job that makes it optional for me, that would be awesome. But for you
Right.
to tell me to quit everything you got going on and just do this right here, no. Now, do I want to stay at home sometimes? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Now, if I can do it to where I can only work 2 or 3 times a day, I mean a week, okay, cool. I'm down for that. But for you to just be like be at home all day, I'm not, no.
no, I would have to do something.
Absolutely not.
I'd have to be like a Real Housewives or something. I'm
Now,
be
am I gonna get an allowance or what? Am I on the payroll or
yeah,
what?
I got
Can I go
He
out
takes
and
care of everything. And side note, he talking about he wanted to have two more kids. Who? I'm 42. Who?
I'll have
Who's about
one
to have?
more. I'll
No,
have
but
at
you're
least
35.
one.
You're 35. I'm
Yeah, I'm
40,
still
42. Who?
tender. I'm still
42. You
tender.
could have some more kids.
Who? Who?
Uh,
Who is thinking about having another child?
You could have some more kids if you wanted to. Listen, don't let me tell you what my OBGYN tells me all the time.
Well, that's you, ma'am. I'm not
I'm not
listen to me.
gonna
I
say
don't want any more children.
I can't do
No, because I want to get my career together. I don't know. Who gonna be watching them, y'all? Y'all know
But
my support system is real short around these parts.
girl, no, I ain't about to watch nobody's
All
babies.
right then, talking about you can still have them. Be
I
dropping
didn't
them
want to
to
be the
TT
one
Risa and
to
Crystal.
It's
I'm glad
possible.
I didn't have to be the one to say no first. Now listen. Now me and Kenny, we can roll, okay?
Yeah,
Them other ones, them little bitty ones, I don't know about that.
Yeah, go on to TT Risa and Crystal's house.
I don't have
Your
Mm-mm.
time.
mama's out. But anyway, honey, we done been over here for way over an hour and I'm tired. So you guys, thank you so much for coming on here. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we hop off here?
I probably added too much, but I think I'm done.
I could probably preach, but I'm not going to get caught up in that. I will say this though, when the Lord puts that mirror up and shows you what it takes to love you, then you know what I'm saying? It kind of opens your eyes to the grace that you need to have for somebody else.
Now
Um,
Oh, stop,
that's
Christy. I've
good.
had it.
That's
That's
a good
good.
one.
That's good, Christy.
That was a good one.
but
Yeah. Cause I'm bad about that one. I'm real bad. I expect perfection from others, and I'll be toe down on my side. Like, what you over here doing? Don't matter.
It does. It absolutely does.
It does. Yeah, I have a
Mhm.
problem with showing grace to people. I really, 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 really do.
She's
But I'm
always
working
had it.
on it. I
Yeah,
know.
and then they're blocked.
And that's the beauty in the bond because it's like, everybody that I know either has gotten on my nerves, is gonna get on my nerves at some point, or something. Somebody's gonna do something that falls short of my expectations. But the grace that we give each other, that's what's special from our relationships with the rest of the world. You may not necessarily give the rest of the world the exact same grace, but your partner, it's like, okay, he know my dirty draws, I know his dirty draws, so we got a dirty draws relationship going on. Everybody else,
Well,
I'm just commanded to love y'all. But this right here is some dirty draws kind of love.
Come on,
So
dirty
uh,
draws.
uh,
I'm
I've been
down for the
not
dirty
seeing
draws
them.
kind of love.
I am future state. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
But
But
that's all.
anyway. Well, that's it, folks. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight, ladies. Thank you for your time. As always, I really appreciate it. I'm like, Lord, I know Chris and Carissa, like, if they drag me on here one more time, this is a part of being my friend. Okay. But
Oh,
I
that's
thank you
it.
for my for my support. I thank y'all for supporting me because you could have said no and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us.
I could have
So
been
I
worse.
definitely appreciate it. Christy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
As always, it is a pleasure, Sister Chris Jenner Jr.
Yeah.
But anyway, we will be back. If you want to talk about any other topics, let us know. Drop it below, or you can inbox one of us and let us know. Um, no subject is really off limits. Like, I love full transparency as much as we can give it because we do have to kind of keep some stuff private. But me, I be liking to tell.
Too
But
much. Entirely too
Yes,
much.
she
I
does.
know,
And
I
they
know.
call me an oversharer.
I am. I'm extremely transparent. That's why I was telling the guy today. I'm like, look, I got this group, and he was like, look, but actually, he's all for it anyway. So he actually might be looking right now, but he's all for it. And he was like, while you're trying to teach other people, you need to be learning too, so we can be your first experiment. I'm like, here we go. So, but just
I'm
like,
I'm high fiving him when I see him.
Right.
My new bestie.
nah, he's super cool, and like I said, even if we don't make a romantic connection, he will definitely be a friend because I like learning from people, and I only keep people around me who I can learn from. And even though it may seem like I don't listen to Crystal and Carissa, and I might not tell them, I do. I stick it in my back pocket, and I'll act on it later, not right then. Okay,
No, she
that's
don't.
my
She
secret.
don't listen.
Yes, I do. I listen.
I I try for you.
But anyway, guys, if you have anything you guys want to talk about, like I said, inbox one of us and let us know, or put it down here on the Facebook app. Make sure that you like and share, and also subscribe to everybody's stuff. So shout out Christy and Carissa. Shout out your pages and everything, so they can go and follow you, and hopefully they'll drop it below so they can also be followed.
Yes, you guys can catch me here on Facebook, Christy Dunn. That's Christy with a K. Well, you see my name in the thing. But I think most importantly, on Mondays, if you are interested in tips on this music journey, or you just think that a lot of the times those tips can correlate to just being an entrepreneur, period. So join me on Mondays for my Music Monday post. I'm on Instagram as K underscore songs, although I'm really not doing a whole bunch there, just my personal life. But I do have my Music Mondays on Instagram, also the Indie Way on Instagram, the Indie Way, Indie way.
All right, Sister Risa.
Okay, my name is Carissa Dickey on Instagram. You can follow me there, or you can follow our salon page, Katie Style Studio on Instagram, same on Facebook. Um, I do not do lives often as I should. I will start doing those again. We have fun when we do them. But right now, I'm just really trying to focus on getting my business in order. I am really interested in hiring some stylists. So if you know any professional hairstylists who are looking to be a commission stylist or a renter, please inbox me. Um, yeah, because I'm really ready to move forward and teaching people what I know and also learning from other stylists. Right now, it's just me and Ashley um, hairstyling at Katie Style Studio, and I really like to expand that, but I'm having a hard time. Having a hard time. People cussing and fussing, and I just that's not what we do at Katie Style Studio. So, looking for some good quality girls who women, young ladies who are very serious about their craft and serious about making their money and customer service being at the top of their list. So if you know any of those people or if you are one of those people, please hit me up. Hmm.
All right. All right, people, we are
Yeah.
out. Go make sure that you follow their pages, Risa and Christy. If you can make sure that you drop those below at the end of the broadcast so they can
Or
see it. Risa, I was able to tag the Katie Style Studio, but I didn't add the rest of your websites. All right. So we're
mm,
out of here, guys. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Reagan Adams, and Reagan says, I think it, I see it, I do it. Good night, guys.
Right.
bye.